Colour is not just the pretty face of the universe. It can also alleviate environmental damage and emotional trauma. We join Kaleidoscope healer Lara Light to experience how she uses the pristine power of light.
I started working with Kaleidoscopes in '91. It started off as a toy and progressed to start doing markets, and it's been an adventure since then. What interested me in kaleidoscopes was that I'd never seen one before. And then ago, it was a case of finding all the pieces and putting them together and then realizing how special they are. It's interesting that we're in the lighthouse because the person who worked on this lens originally was the designer of the kaleidoscope, and that dates back to the early 1800s. And what that is literally called reflected symmetry, and it's taking light and it's bouncing in on itself all the time. Each artist has their own pieces that they use, what they call the viewing chamber, which is what you look at. We've been using colour, chipped glass, stained glass, window glass, and the various types of crystals. That makes our kaleidoscopes unique because they're in a vial or tube, which allows much more light and crystal frequency to actually be absorbed by the body. When you look through the kaleidoscope, you have, with the inverted 3 mirrors, you can create a certain number of reflections. I work with the number 7, so it has 7 points, and that 7 points represents the 7 states of our being, the 7 energy centers. 7 is always known as a spiritual healing number. It's the number of harmony. It's also a number that reflects our soul. So that living mandala is what a number 7 is. Awakens the sense of yourself, and it brings that harmony and peace, which is that de-stressing effect that we all need to have in our lives. We are surrounded by so many changes. Our lives are reflecting so many changes on different levels of our being that it's important to ground ourselves in beauty and in truth. And one of the best ways to do that is to have a creative drive or to express our creativity. With kaleidoscopes, you have the benefit of it being a creative tool.
The experience was sensational, and sensational in more ways than one, because it used all my senses, with the color and the light and the sound and the touch and the movement. It's absolutely irresistible. You just have to reveal who you are.
Mindy is a free spirit. She is absolutely spontaneous in her sense of rhythm and her sense of dance, yet she felt inhibited. I actually used the Kaleidoscope Light with her specifically to engage the child within her.
I found it was a lot easier to be happy with being myself in spite of criticism about an old lady behaving like that. And Lara helped me a great deal. She encouraged me all the way, all the time, with incredible patience and a lot of insight.
There are many uses for kaleidoscopes, and one of them we found is to take them into schools to teach children how to focus their mind. You know, you take a child that comes from a house where that morning, for example, there's been a lot of tension in the house, the parents are late, and they get to school and they're expected to sit down and absorb and to take in information. Meantime, they still have a lot running on in their minds. Kaleidoscopes help because they actually bring that harmonious balance back. So it's a wonderful thing for children to use to start their day and also to help when you need to study. Your natural brain functions in a pattern. So when viewing a kaleidoscope, what you're actually looking at is something that is harmonious to the mind and something that allows your mind to very slowly, in sync, become much more balanced and more attuned.
I find the light really affected me. It made my sense of awareness a lot more in depth. What it really actually does is you are projecting that crystal energy onto your body. And as soon as it gets projected onto your body, it's like the crystal memory gets released into you. And it brings clarity. And when my head is in the right space, more things happen in your life. From about last year, the beginning of last year, we've been working together on a daily basis, taking it to schools, doing the healing with a crystal projection, and also like the show, The Awakening that we've got, that's a whole chakra balance on its own.
It's a play literally that embodies healing and meditation. So it's an active play. And as an audience participant, just simply by watching the show, because we go through each of the various colors, you have a whole healing experience. You go through color therapy, you experience the light, and afterwards, after the show, we offer the opportunity for people to come up and experience what the light feels like. Within light is information. That information communicates directly to the soul. So when you look through a kaleidoscope and you see these beautiful patterns and you're feeling the healing energy of the different colors and the various crystals, that formation and that pattern actually triggers on a soul level a recognition of yourself as being part of everything. So you feel much more connected, you're more in touch with your spiritual self. You realize that you have a reason for being here. You realize that you are beautiful.
Kaleidoscopic therapy, I would love to see it in everybody's homes, because the clarity that it brings, and the more it brings you in harmony for yourself, because what it does, you know, usually we say visualize the heart center green. Now you just stand there and have the light being projected on you. It's projecting through the right frequency filters, the right crystals. It gets right into the body, and it takes the cells that were in stress, it brings it actually back into harmony, and it's really incredible. I mean, I can just speak for myself. I am totally addicted.